Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the English Corridor podcast.
Hello, everyone. I am Jacob.
And I am Anna.
And we are really happy to have you with us again.
In this podcast series, Jacob and I discuss different situations from our personal and professional lives so that English Corridor learners can understand how people communicate in real-life conversations.
Yes, and through these discussions, we also share our opinions and experiences so that listeners can learn useful vocabulary and expressions that they can use in their own conversations.
Exactly. And today we are going to talk about something that many professionals struggle with.
Yes, today's topic is how to say no at work and setting professional boundaries.
Jacob, let me start by asking you a simple question. Have you ever said yes to extra work even when you were already very busy?
Oh yes, Anna. I think almost everyone has experienced that situation at some point in their career.
That's true.
Sometimes your manager or colleague asks for help, and even though you are already handling several tasks, you still say yes because you don't want to appear unhelpful.
Exactly. Many employees feel uncomfortable saying no because they think it might affect their reputation at work.
Yes, they worry that their manager might think they are not cooperative or not dedicated enough.
But the reality is that constantly saying yes to everything can actually create more problems.
That's absolutely right. When people accept too many responsibilities, they often feel stressed and overwhelmed.
I completely agree with that. Have you ever had a situation where you accepted too much work and later regretted it?
Yes, actually, I remember something that happened last year.
Oh, really? What happened?
At that time, I was working on an important project that required a lot of attention and effort. My schedule was already very tight.
That sounds intense.
It was, and then one of my colleagues asked me if I could help him with another assignment.
And you said yes?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Well, I didn't want to disappoint him. I thought it would only take a little time.
But I guess it didn't turn out that way.
Not at all. The task required much more effort than I had expected.
So you ended up with too much work.
Exactly. I started working late almost every evening, and I felt constantly tired.
That must have been very exhausting.
It was. That experience made me realize that saying yes to everything is not always the best decision.
I completely agree with that.
After that experience, I started thinking more carefully before accepting additional responsibilities.
That's a very wise approach.
I think one of the most important professional skills is learning how to communicate your limitations politely.
Yes, because saying no doesn't mean that you are unwilling to help.
Exactly. It simply means that you are being realistic about your workload and priorities.
And it also shows that you respect the quality of your work.
That's a very important point.
If someone accepts too many tasks, they might not be able to complete them effectively.
Yes, and that can actually affect their professional reputation.
So, in some cases, saying no can actually help maintain professionalism.
I agree.
So, Jacob, what do you think is the best way to say no at work without sounding rude?
I think the key is to be honest and respectful.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Instead of saying, "No, I can't do this," you can say something like, "I would really like to help, but I am currently working on several important tasks. I want to make sure I complete them properly."
That sounds very polite and professional.
Yes, because you are explaining your situation instead of simply refusing.
Another approach could be suggesting an alternative solution.
That's a great idea.
For example, you could say, I may not be able to take this task right now, but I would be happy to help once I finish my current project.
That way, you are still showing cooperation and willingness to support your team.
Exactly.
I also think managers usually appreciate honesty.
Yes, most good managers understand that employees have limits.
And when employees communicate clearly, it actually improves workplace efficiency.
That's true.
Another important aspect of saying no is maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Absolutely. If people keep accepting extra work all the time, they may not have enough time for their personal life.
And that can eventually lead to burnout.
Yes, burnout is becoming a very common issue in modern workplaces.
That's why setting professional boundaries is so important.
Boundaries help people protect their time, energy, and well-being.
And when employees feel balanced and motivated, they can perform their work more effectively.
Exactly.
So learning to say no politely is actually a very valuable communication skill.
Yes, absolutely. Before we wrap up today's conversation, Jacob, I think we used some useful words that our listeners might want to remember.
That's true. Let's quickly talk about a few of them.
One word we used several times today was workload.
Yes, workload simply refers to the amount of work someone has to complete.
Exactly. For example, you might say, "My workload has increased this week, so I need to manage my time carefully."
Another important word we mentioned today was productivity.
Right. Productivity means how efficiently someone can complete their work and produce good results.
For example, if someone is tired or stressed, their productivity may decrease.
We also talked about burnout.
Yes, burnout happens when someone experiences extreme stress and exhaustion because of too much work.
That's why it's important to manage your responsibilities wisely.
Another useful expression we used today was professional boundaries.
Professional boundaries mean setting clear limits so that work responsibilities do not become overwhelming.
Exactly. These boundaries help people maintain a healthier balance between their work and personal life.
And finally, we also mentioned the word priorities.
Priorities are simply the tasks that are more important and need to be completed first.
If someone understands their priorities clearly, it becomes much easier to manage their workload.
And it also becomes easier to politely say no when necessary.
If you would like to review these words again, you can find the complete vocabulary list from today's episode in the description box below.
Today, we discussed an important topic that many professionals experience during their careers.
Yes, learning how to say no politely and professionally can help maintain both productivity and well-being.
And it also helps create a healthier and more balanced work environment.
If you want to improve your English communication and learn vocabulary through real-life conversations like this, visit the English Corridor website. The link is in the description below.
And tell us in the comments what topic you would like us to discuss in our next podcast episode.
Thank you for listening.
And we'll see you in the next episode of the English Corridor podcast.
Until next time,
Keep learning, keep growing.